You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona, and with me always are my good friends.
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And AK Mike in Texas.
And we want to wish everybody a happy December. It's getting close to Christmas. I can't believe it. Where did the year go?
Yeah, I know. And look, I'm wearing long sleeve shirts.
I know. Guess what? Shirts. I am too. Look at that. I actually went out to the...
I mostly always wear long sleeve shirts.
Yeah,
so
you almost wear it. So, well, before we get started, luckily we have a special guest tonight, and we'll get to him in just a second. But let's hear a word from our sponsors.
3D Air Aviators, adding fun to the RC hobby, one layer at a time.
Feeling weak and powerless? Sounds to me like you need A-Power batteries. When someone needs the best, they always choose the A-Team. A-Power batteries. Get on the web and get yours today.
Well, I can't believe you didn't do the jingle. Actually, these were better. I like these better. Well, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go out to YouTube, Park Flyer Podcast, and subscribe. Hit the like button. Help us get a little bit bigger on YouTube there. And if you have any suggestions, we still going back to the Christmas, TCs. I think it's TCCS. We can, looking for your stories at either 830-444-4943, or you can leave them with us on the Park Flyer Podcast listeners group, or you can send us an email at the parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com. So we have a special guest on tonight, and we'd like to welcome Shannon Gallagher from the Arizona Electric Festival. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. It's been a while.
So happy to have you back. It has been a while. This craziness and, it just, I don't know, it's gotten out of hand.
Yes, I would agree.
So, but we're excited. We understand that you have some special things coming over, even if we kind of looking at this crazy virus, corona, whatever you want to call it. But we're hoping that you have some good news that we're all going to be able to come down and play in your backyard.
Yes, I do have some good news about that. So Arizona Electric Festival 2021 is still a go. We're going for February 12th to the 14th. So it's a great day to bring your wife or girlfriend out for a wonderful day of flying on Valentine's Day. Or leave early
on Valentine's Day.
Or leave early, and make sure you buy her a nice, expensive dinner. So whichever.
What woman wouldn't want to be there? I mean, really,
it's the perfect place. It really is.
It is the perfect place.
But yeah, so obviously one of the biggest challenges is our field, like most other clubs' fields, at some point was closed down for a period of time, and we had to adjust to meet the county regulations where we fall under Maricopa County, being on a county park. Mm-hmm. And so we did all that, and we've been open, but we still couldn't have any events. In fact, I think we had 2 more events after AEF last year. We had a Pattern Classic, and then we had Gunsmoke, and that was about it. But the county came up with a permitting process that we have to go through, and at first glance, it was like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to do this? But we sat down, put our heads together, worked out this amazing plan. We have a new maintenance guy, a guy named Tony Milage, who also does facilities management for many, many organizations. And he created this masterpiece that we sent in, with our application, and we got it back in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, they were like, wow, this is amazing. So just, barring, this is, subject to change until, the day of, but we're looking at, there'll be a bit of an amended check-in. We're actually going to have to do like a temperature check and, ask a few questions, things like that. You'll get a wristband that says you're clear, for the day. We'll have a location where you can, if you're feeling sick, you can go, be away from everybody till we can figure out what to do with you.
Stand out in the desert.
Out in the middle of the desert, yeah. There's a pack of coyotes right there.
It's a rope with knots in it. You just hold on and walk that way towards the knots.
Pretty much.
With a water bottle attached to it.
There you go. But so there'll be a few things like that we'll have to deal with, masks and stuff like that. We'll be as liberal as we can with that. But the county's watching, so we're just going to follow the rules so we can still have our events. And I think it's going to work. We're really excited to be able to keep it going. The first event actually that we got the okay for is our auction. We have a big auction in the fall. Mm-hmm. We had to cancel, but we have such a demand for that event that we said, let's try to do this first. So that's going to kind of be the dry run of making sure this all works for AEF. But we're pretty confident. And if anything, we'll find the holes and patch them before it happens. So that's the good news. That's the really good news. I'm excited about. I'm hoping you guys are planning on being there. I'm assuming you guys are planning on being there again this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have my own personal. I'm trying to figure out how to fly. This is my own personal.
Oximeter
sensor and oximeter.
Yep.
So that way, when I'm, hacking up along or something, I can, I must have COVID.
Hopefully not that, but
and we are bringing we're bringing new housing.
Oh, what are you getting this year? Medically sealed?
A Class A.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I got to get there early on Thursday so I get the prime parking spot right next to the fence.
Yeah, really.
I don't want to have to walk so far. Actually, I wound up with a Class A motorhome. We sold our home and we're gonna do a little traveling. So my wife basically looked at me and said, "Am I gonna go to the electric festival too?" And I was like, "Nope." She goes, "Where am I supposed to sleep?" And I go, "I'll get you a hotel, honey." She's like, "No, I want to go." I was like, "Okay."
So that's your residence now, not making
right, not this right second, but we're supposed to vacate this place around the 15th.
In 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Actually, in 30 days.
Where are you gonna put all your airplanes?
I have a storage unit now. It's a 20 by 30. Okay. and I'm wondering if I could get anything else in it because I have a trailer that's full of planes too. So
it's a tertiary garage.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
It's very, very. My wife's like, where are we going to put our furniture? I go, in that one, and so we just got the one next to it. So anyway, she just shook her head, but she's very supportive. So yeah, we're all excited about the new digs, and
awesome.
We'll be there with our trailer or planes and ready to go. So and we got new podcast equipment this year too.
Oh, great.
So we got I've got a big Zoom L8 or whatever. It's like. I think it's got like 8 people now. You can talk.
Wow!
So I just have
like a round table discussion.
Yeah, you can.
But 6 feet apart, of course.
That's correct. So
everybody gets a free poll, right? When we sign up.
I got to sign a waiver. Get close.
Pretty much.
Anyway, sorry about that. We are excited that we're going to be there, and the date once again is right on
February 12th to the 14th.
12th through the 14th.
Yes, we were on the fence. I had just put through the sanction. I don't know if you guys remember House of Balsa, Zap Glues, Paul Stenberg, longtime sponsor. Well, there's another event in California, the Coachella Jet Rally, which is also pretty well-sized. It's the same weekend, and it's hard to coordinate with every other club, around. We do around locally in Arizona to some degree. We have a group that does that, but crossing, state lines, we have a hard time sometimes figuring out, who's doing what event. And he's like, oh, well, maybe you could change it because they already have that picked. I'm like, well, we've had it picked too for a long time. So we stuck to our guns and we picked the 12th to the 14th. It's the second weekend, which we've been doing the last 3 or 4 years.
Sure.
So we stuck with it. And so Paul's still going to come. He's still coming out for our event. Sure. So that's good. Good news. So he's one of our longest time sponsors. So
sure. Well, I'm lucky because that's the week I took off for vacation. So
me too. Me too. Yeah. So I've talked to a few of our regular vendors and sponsors. They're still planning, based on what we've kind of laid out. We're going to actually have a little more interaction from Horizon Hobby. They're actually sending someone out specifically from Horizon Hobby, so that's kind of a cool thing. That we're back on the map as far as not that I don't think we ever weren't, but we've had a lot more, and you guys have seen, we've had a lot more infusion of sponsors and vendors the last couple of years since we kind of reorganized the events and stuff. But it's been it was a little scary trying to figure out how we're gonna make all this work. But I've got a great staff at Arizona Model Aviators. I'm up for re-election this year. I'm running unopposed, so I'm pretty confident I'll be in.
There you go.
It's okay. It's okay because we have it figured out. We can. We got this ballot box rigged for you, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I've got 100 ballots in the trailer, so we're good.
Mike Moan 1, Mike Moan 2, Mike Moan 3. They're all different people.
Oh wow! We had this many members in the.
They all live
club.
in RV park. Yeah. Sorry. That's terrible. Well, we are wishing the best of luck, and we know that just by virtue of watching you put these on, that it will be very difficult to not vote you in. So
yeah, I kept asking people, "Do you want to run? Please. I could really use another a challenge. Just give me something, and if somebody else wins."
I feel like if I run for it, that would definitely guarantee more other people running for it, right? Because they don't want me to be it. I'm an outsider. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So you just put me on the ballot. Yeah.
Just join.
You have to be a citizen of the United States. Alaska I'm sorry.
I cleared that last week. Yeah, I'm good.
I outran ICS. It was okay.
Yeah, it was fun. There's an automatic win if you do.
Well, and you can join for one day, right? It's like, get a 1-day pass, and then, you got to be a member. Yeah.
Fortunately, in our bylaws, it says you have to be a member for a year, but I appreciate the effort, Mike. So you want to join the club today, you can run against me next time. So there you go.
Yeah.
Time for next year.
Yes. And then it would be the worst Arizona Electric Festival ever.
No.
Wow, Mike. I really appreciate that.
Well, you guys know how it works. You guys can run it.
Well, we know how it works, but that doesn't mean we could run it.
we're running it well. Yeah. We could run it. Mm.
Yeah, we just stand there. Okay, come on in.
The Three Stooges.
That's about it.
Quiet, you numbskulls. I'm fine.
Wise guy, eh?
Actually, I was at the field today, and they were maiden in a bunch of turbines. So,
oh wow,
I went out there to help them, and they're all L39. So everybody they bought it in a group.
Right.
I was out of the country, and they were kind of trying to get me to do it. I'm like, I already have one. And anyway, long story short, they were out there maiden them today, and so I went out to support them. And one of the guys that was there was telling me that he got suspended or on probation or something as a spotter. Wasn't even the guy flying.
How do you do that?
Well, I asked. I was like, wait, what? And he goes, yeah, it was. He goes, the worst part is that the guy that was flying, the guy that came running up to me and started yelling at me. So I turned to look at him, and the guy flying scattered his turbine jet all over the runway.
What? Wait, how does that even happen?
I don't know. He was telling me about it's at a totally different club somewhere. Won't mention any names in the northwest corner.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
It's nobody I know, Gary.
That will not
Billy,
happen.
Sam.
Yeah. That will not happen at our field. If it does, you come talk to me.
No. Actually, that's one of the things Jay and I were talking last year that we were really impressed with how smooth the flying goes, and even the all the guys up on the line. I know they want to go fly too, and they dedicate their whole day not flying, but just moving the line. Allowing safety. Taking care of all that. And even your safety guy is amazing. I mean, I've never seen him really get on someone. He's got that personality. When he walks up to you, you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing great. That's not really what we want to do." And
yeah.
You walk away and you go, I told Jay, I was like, I think we got busted for something.
Yeah, but that if you do it again, you're going to hear about it, and you don't want that conversation. So
and it's Maggiano, right? It was his first.
John Mangino. John Mangino. Yeah.
And I've grown to really like the way his style is. There's a lot of guys that'll run up there and start screaming, and he's not like that at all. So he's real quiet, real calm. He doesn't.
I think it's that bar that he holds that really kind of worries me.
The big steel bar, crowbar behind you.
Right. It used to be a samurai sword, but we took that away from him.
It's not as intimidating that way. So one of the things that's kind of interesting, I've had a couple chances to be obviously at the festival and see how fly-ins are run for RC. And I was just recently down at the beach flying my paramotor, and they had a fly-in. So it's a lot like the RC fly-in, only I would say that people who fly paramotors are a little bit of their own mind. Well, we have a real set, a bunch of rules. You got to be behind a line. Only 4 of you can be up there at one time. Well, at the fly-in, and this isn't like bad, but it's just different. And so you get 6-8 guys lining up, getting ready to take off. Now, the good news is there's a guy out in the middle of the field directing traffic. So that's the upside to it. But, I look at that and I compare that to the RC stuff, and I think, holy crap, the RC stuff seems safer because it has a very fixed set of rules. Now there are a fixed set of rules about paramotor. You don't run your paramotor over a dude who's laying down in front of you. That's reasonable. You don't. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I can move with that one.
You don't swoop down over somebody else's laid out, gear so that it goes everywhere as you fan past it, right? And there are just things that you don't, right? And but the other thing is that there are guys who are really, really good at it. And I know we have this similarity in RC too. They're really good pilots, and they're zooming around the air, and they're all over the air, and they're zoomed past your plane, and you're like, holy crap, he's going to hit me. And, you just sort of panic. And, that same sort of thing happens. So you have similar types of personalities with regard to that as well. So it's really interesting just to see, how different types of fly-ins operate. And I'm sure that if I went to yet a different, show like the one you were talking about, the Jet Rally, it would be different in terms of how it's run relative to the space and whatever. And so I imagine every time you go to a different place, it's different. But I just want to kind of throw that comparator out there.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Mike. It's and I have to say that the Arizona Electric Festival is one of what I feel is one of the safest, best, gatherings. Everything runs smooth, so pat yourself on the back, and we give you tons of kudos. So, I've been to several, and actually, I will tell you, probably won't let the secret out, but if he can make it happen, we may have a couple of special guests that show up. They were so impressed from the
awesome
that they may fly in again this time if they can get.
Well, of course, I do blame stuff on you too, Shannon. When people say, "What happened?" Well, it was Shannon's fault. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always my fault. The only bad news about so far this year is Pat Gagnon, my co-CD. This will be his last Arizona Electric Festival. He's actually moving back to Florida.
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
Well, wait, yay? Maybe because then he'll bring with him another festival, maybe start something over there.
He's moving to the Panhandle area. He's got family there. He just kind of, says, I'm going to go back there and kind of retire and do all that good stuff. So
he's going to become a panhandler. I get it.
Panhandler, yeah. He's going to be a panhandler in the Panhandle. Yep. But so we're kind of bummed about that because Pat's been my right hand man since we started this. When we kind of took over together, and just huge thanks to him, and I'm hoping to make a big deal about it, even though he probably doesn't want me to. But he's dedicated so much to this event. I can't thank him.
Well, he's provided a great amount of excitement for us too.
Oh yeah.
And
I love watching him fly. He's got all those motion RC. I mean, I think he's got every motion RC airplane available, or at least.
Well, he did. He's all turbine.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I figured that. And
yeah.
when he bought the last one, the A4, I knew he was going to get the bug. It's hard not to. I mean, the last 3 times I've been out at the field have all been turbine related. So.
Well, he bought the MiG-29, so we both have the MiG-29.
How's that fly?
I love it. I know there's been ups and downs online about that plane, but I've flown it, a dozen times now. It probably more than that. I've had no issues. I actually did the servo upgrade before that was even a thing, but that was just me. But other than that, it's bone stock, so I love it.
That's crazy. Well, I'll let you in on. I don't know if you've been following Big Mike, but he's done some serious modifications to his Cessna. Very impressive. I won't let the cat out of the bag, but you can go to his Facebook.
So no more drugs, huh?
Some of the stuff, but
or pizza, whatever it was.
It's
No, I think he still has the theme.
What'd you say, Jay?
No, I said I think he still has that theme.
He
he
moved
just
to the cartels
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, let me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yes, he moved up in the world, and it was funny because in the pilot world, the real pilot world, we train all the time. Most of the time, when you look across your panel, both above you and beside, in front of you and below you, if there's a red light on, that's a bad thing. And letting the cat out of the bag, there's some new additions to this, and he sent a picture, and I told him, I said, yeah, you should get all those red LEDs out of there. Make them all green because green is good, red is bad. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. So the next photo that he showed me.
On the other hand, the maintenance on those things might not be the best, so red might be appropriate.
That's true too. I guess he could put red in there and just say, man, this guy's just flying it regardless if it's airworthy or not. But
he doesn't care. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it there, but it's very impressive. I mean, he's done a lot of work.
Yeah, I've been watching him. Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah, it's pretty
impressive. I follow Big Mike.
Yeah. So we're excited about him coming out, and I think there's a couple other guys that have kind of got. I follow their pages or I'm on their boards or whatever, and I think if people will actually turn out and come out and participate like they always do. With all your stuff and with all the rules in place, I think we'll still have as much fun, and I think it'll be great.
I think it might not be quite the turnout as size wise, but we might be surprised.
I think
I'm optimistic.
Yeah, and it's it's a good weekend, and you can kind of go do your thing, and then take your wife to dinner or bring her out. So a couple questions. Number one, you're going to have the night fly still, right?
Of course, night fly is a mainstay of the event. So. Okay.
Well,
that's my favorite guy. I have get my flying disco ball out.
Yeah, that thing put me in a epileptic seizure last time. I was
do the hustle. Dun, 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 dun.
It was a lot of light. I was just like, but I'm used to flying the Fat Walrus, so I mean, there's like green and red and blue or whatever it is. So then, how is the pilot giveaway coming?
So with the pilot giveaway, I am hoping to keep the torch of everyone getting something going. Mm-hmm. That's kind of on the fence now. That's one of the few things, but I've always said it's never a guarantee, but I've always busted my rear to make sure everyone got something. So I think we're still going to be able to do something. It just might not be as grand as it's been in the past, but not that every prize was grand, but I think most people leave with a smile on their face. So I'll
tell you what, I can't ever have enough Zap glue, man. Even if I got some of that.
Oh, I know. Those little tiny ones. I've been going through those like left and right lately. So
yeah, well, it's one of those things that you just got to have in your bag. So, what were you saying?
I was going to say, hey Shannon. So one thing, if anybody's like a sponsor wants to come out to the show, what do they have to do?
It's real simple. Just get a hold of me. I'm pretty much running the sponsors this year. Also, my previous vendor coordinator retired, which is fine, but I have no problem with that. Rick Huerta help. He was a big part of this event even before I was. So he kind of did his time. I'm like, I'll take care of it because we're so right sized now that I can kind of, between me and Pat, we do a pretty good job of managing everything. But basically, they can just contact me. All we ask for is at least $50 in merchandise. Almost every vendor sponsor is more than generous above that. I've never had any problem. And also, if you come out as a vendor, whatever prizes aren't provided by the vendors, I actually go and buy the rest of the prizes from the vendors.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. And I try to, it's a nice, little, give and take there. You guys give me a little bit and I'll try and give you some more back and hand it out to the rest. So it's worked pretty well. So yeah, it's real basic. And even if you, if there's someone that wants to sponsor the event, just send out something. We'll add it to all of our social media. We've got, pretty good Facebook following, RC groups. We'll make announcements at the event. If they want to send out a flyer or a banner, to put up at the thing, if they want to send out things to hand out to the pilots, business cards or whatever, we do all that stuff too. So I'm real flexible. Just, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Well, it's fantastic because, it looks like we might have two sponsors that might come on out to the show.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had Jason last year. Jason came out for
he did real well.
He did really well. He was sold out as far as I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of at least the big popular batteries. So,
well, one of the new sponsors we just got is the Depron King. He actually brought Depron back to America. So
yeah,
in fact,
I
see
saw
it right
that.
there. Oh, my pointing. There it is.
Like
in that box,
in that big
there's
pile
a sample of all the newest, greatest Depron here back in the USA. So
that's awesome. I actually have like a sheet of Depron that I bought like 12 years ago. I had a whole box that I bought from Depron USA, and I've just started breaking some pieces out to fix. Actually, it fixes this plane right here, my little F8. But that'll be exciting to get some fresh Depron blood going, because that's right.
And it's supposed to be new and improved as well.
Yeah.
So it's lighter. It's moldable. It's more bendy. I like that.
How about glue sensitivity?
We can't really say, did he?
That was something we didn't talk about. So that's a good question.
Oh, you know what? He talked about the hot glue though, right? Because
he hates
where I showed the burning.
He talked about the 3D burns that he was in the burn unit, but from the hot glue.
Oh,
and how he despises it.
Ouch.
So that's more of what I got from that story, not about how well it sticks to the actual Depron.
Gotcha.
But I think that from what he was saying, it was same type of glues that we always use.
Okay.
But I after we had that episode, I actually went and looked up that movie that he said, and I looked up the video. That was amazing. He made these superheroes, these big, like full-size flying people for this movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I watched it and I was just like, holy cow, that's amazing. It's amazing.
They're from Depron?
Uh-huh. Yeah. All made of Depron.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Depron corrugated plastic from the
what movie was that, Mike?
side.
For those people who didn't get that? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to ask something you didn't know.
No, it was
Depron Man?
No, if you go on to YouTube, you can type in New York Flying People. I think that's his video, and it has the movie, the scene from the movie, that kind of thing in there, where they flew over the Brooklyn Bridge, and it was difficult because it was not too long after 9/11, and he said to be able to get to do that was basically a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Well, because there was people involved in flying them. He built them. The movie productions was in there. They needed certain backgrounds, certain lighting. Plus, they needed all these permits in New York to even come close to the Brooklyn Bridge. So it was a big undertaking for him, but it was pretty crazy. I got through about half the movie and I had to go, but it's about 3 kids that get these
superpowers.
Yeah, or 5 kids or whatever it is, 3 kids, I think. Anyway, it was really neat to watch. So.
Okay,
I think it's called New York Flying People, New York, or New York Flying People. If you
put it Flying People in New York City.
That's it. Flying People in New York City.
And also we might be able to get 3D Aero Ventures. He might come out as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because he's right down the road, right on the tip of El Paso, Texas. So
come on over.
Wow.
So so hopefully we can get him to maybe bring a 3D printer, put it out there for the folks to see, and bring up a few of his products. And
that'd be
do
great.
a little demo. That might be kind of nice. So
I'll donate the generator for him to run on. Let's plug it in this nice, outside plug.
So are we going to have any more solar battery cell recharging?
I have not talked to him yet. I forget Chris was his name. Yeah, I've actually got his number. I read Grace across. I'm like, I better give him a call. I have not talked to him, but I know we had planned to do other events, but because we didn't have any other events, it kind of fell by the wayside. So, but I will give him
I just loved how we were
2 of those things.
I don't know if you guys have seen him, but a lot of those same exact rigs have actually been coming up for auction across the Southwest. There was a bunch of them in California, some here, some in Vegas, and we as a club, we were on the fence about actually going and trying to buy one. But they were kind of like, they started pricing out a little higher than we were anticipating. Like if we get it for about a certain price point, we were like, okay, we can maybe do it. But what we were gonna do is we were gonna buy the whole trailer, solar panels, and then it was also some that had lights on them. And a diesel generator. It was an all-in-one, power package. We were going to take the trailer, take the wheels off. We were going to hoist it up and put it on our roof of our storage bunkers.
Idea.
Yeah, and then we were gonna take the generator off and put it in its own little container. But we were just gonna get it off the ground and away from, anyone that might want to try and steal it, kind of thing. Because that's why we
drive off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So lock it up with a bogus.
I'll bring my own wheels. You're fine. I'll just bring my own wheels. And
some big A-class RV came through and put it on its roof and drove off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a trailer hitch on that thing. It'll haul 12,000 pounds. Well, that's a really good idea. We used to have a gator, out at the club I'm at, and we used to have a generator and a gator and a bunch of other stuff, and it disappeared. So
yeah, that's what we're worried about.
They helped themselves to it, and it wouldn't fit in the trailer, so they parked it beside it, and next thing you know, it was trailered somewhere else. So now they've locked up our generator, and you got to have 2 people with the key, and if they're not there, no generator. So solar would be nice. We do have some solar panels; they just need to be fixed, I think, rewired or whatever it is. They're older. So.
Yeah, I'm going to probably look at trying to get more stuff like that in the field. We've actually done a lot of improvements. Even in the last year, we redid the infield. Mm-hmm. We're still saving for the runway. That's the big one we're still saving for.
That's a spendy one, man. We just did that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was.
We're probably going to do a quick 5-year or so seal, if anything, one more time. I think we're kind of leaning towards that right now.
That's cool.
We actually just got an extension on our lease with the county. That was another big thing that we were kind of had going for a while. And we cut down on what we had to pay out to the county because we basically showed them we haven't been making as much money the last couple of years, and anticipating what's going on with COVID, wouldn't be making it for a while either. So we said, hey, this is what we want to pay for the next couple of years, and they took it to the county board, and they said, okay, well, we're good for 6 years. So hallelujah.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. At least they'll give you a chance to catch back up.
Yeah, really. That's about it.
Yeah, it happens. Maybe some big donor from California will dump a big load of cash in your lap. So,
Yeah, we're looking at what can we do in the next couple of years to really build that bankroll to really redo the runway like we like. I know it's not the best time right now, but even heck, I'll name the field sponsorship rights, whatever it takes to do that. So if you got anybody out there that really wants to put their name on an RC field, and
Walmart,
Walmart Memorial Field.
Actually, believe it or not, you should look into State Farm. Those guys have signs everywhere.
Yeah.
I used to race motocross when I was younger, and they had State Farm signs, like 5 different people, all from State Farm that paid. I don't even know how much they paid. I know it wasn't cheap, because I had a sign out there for my motorcycle shop, and it was, $500 to $1,000 a month. So it was big, but they don't seem to care. And if they have bigger airplanes, there is a homeowner's rider you can actually insure your RC.
Oh.
So take a look.
So
now, I think you have to have a fairly expensive airplane because $50 foamy is not really gonna.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be really worth the premium you're gonna pay, because the premium is about $700 a year. So, but if you have a $50,000 turbine jet or something, and I know you guys have jet rallies over there too. So, just a kind of idea dropped in.
Oh yeah, no, anything that comes out there, we'd be interested, because it's we plan on being there long term. That's the goal. Obviously, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with the FAA and all of that. So that's the other thing we have to kind of not worry with yet, but definitely.
I was hoping COVID would just quiet them down.
Yeah, don't get. Do away with the FAA.
Yeah,
the department's not going anywhere, but they've actually already sent me a letter that gave me a list, because I'm a UAS pilot already,
right?
Just by virtue of my real job, I got the license.
Yeah,
they're sending me all of the commercial stuff, even though I don't use it. But they've got 8 or 10 companies now that are creating these unmanned aerial systems that are literally like half the size of your car. And they're really pushing to block, altitudes and to get this other stuff done, because these types are large enough that they can carry cameras, infrared, packages, whatever the case may be. And there's several different companies that are, on that leading edge design, really pushing hard. So the AMA really needs to kind of push hard for their deal as well. And, if we're outside any of the parameters, we should be able to fly how we want to fly. But so far they haven't come after us. So
I think the FAA should require that when those commercial operators make their gear, that it's capable of crushing anything that would crash into them.
Including the airliner. Here we go.
No, because they're flying at different altitudes, right? You're talking about them reducing the altitudes for RC planes and stuff. So anything in the lower altitudes that are the smaller, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, killing
rock paper scissors in the air,
right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So, well, what other big plans are at the festival? Did we cover everything, or?
Let me see what I can think of. We'll probably have one or two food vendors. They have to follow the whatever county guidelines as well, and we'll have them spread out. The vendors will be a little more spread out. It'll just be a little more open air area. We have plenty of room for it, luckily. Mm-hmm. We've even thought about getting like a little FM transmitter, and if people want to stay at their car, we could have the announcers, broadcasting so they could just stay at their car and hear what's going on. Yeah, so we've been thinking about that, and I don't know if you guys done any of the drive-in concerts.
I have,
yeah. And that was I went and saw the Oingo Boingo, all the members of Oingo Boingo except for Danny Elfman. I just went and saw them
on your Facebook page. You look like you had a good time.
Oh man,
even though you're stuck in the car.
It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was worth it. So we're looking at things like that that we can make the experience just as good for the spectators as it always has been, and maybe even a little better. So that's kind of what we're shooting for.
Excellent. Well, that's good. That's exciting. I think there's plenty to look forward to, and especially in this awkward time, But I trust that this is going to be even better than last year. It's always gotten better. So even in the face of the adversity that we're facing now, I think you'll pull it off, and the people that come just absolutely love it. And we love being there. I mean, this will be our 6th year.
I think so. Yeah. And your involvement has been immensely beneficial to the event. If you guys didn't know that already, but thank you so much, because that's where a lot of people, hey, I heard about this on Park Flyer podcast, and oh yeah, great! I'm glad you guys made it out. So
yeah, we're glad too. Yeah. That's one of those things. I think we talked about before. It's kind of a labor of love, but a lot of times guys will just give you, hey man, you're doing great, and that's that's all the feedback we get. But it's good because we've showed up at a couple events and people are like, oh my gosh, and I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, the kid that came up to us. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. This kid was just, his mom was like rolling her eyes, but this kid was just literally in just, la la land when he's like, you guys are on the Park Flyer podcast. I can't believe you're actually here. And he's like shaking our hand. He's all nervous. He's only what, 8 or 10 or something, but I listen to you all the time. Oh my gosh. And he just was nervous, like meeting a celebrity. And we were kind of like, we're just a bunch of losers. Not really, but,
guys, we just like to talk about planes.
Yeah. And it was kind of like that when we went out to North Carolina too, and they gave us a huge welcoming. It was like, oh my gosh, look who's here, and we're not really used to that, so it was just kind of funny for us. Yeah.
Well, no, when you guys show up at AEF, I mean, you're warmly greeted.
Yes.
Everyone comes out, hey guys, and that's what I really love about this event is, you see the coolest airplanes people are flying, but just everyone is just getting together and catching up, and if anything this time, it'll be a nice little, everyone's kind of crawled out of their hole for the last few months.
Out of their bunkers, they've got their steel bunkers.
And, all the great planes they put together and during that time, and come out and share them with everybody. So really looking forward to it.
We should offer like we interview anybody who come up to us and say, I listen to you guys all the time or something like that. It's like anybody who comes up to us and says that, they get automatic interview.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Or T-shirt, maybe.
Yeah. All right. I got to get some T-shirts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was got to pack a few T-shirts. Oh, you mean with a logo on it? Oh.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah. You got to wear clothes this time, Mike. Really.
Okay.
Last time
I worked on the
We're
track.
trying different things to attract people. Like that didn't work, and I get it. I get it.
Well,
We'll get a
when I was
wife beater, and the three of us will sign it.
Exactly.
Here's your
well, when you said I was going to be on camera, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to wear? First makeup. No makeup.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Exactly.
But I was like, am I going to wear my Park Flyer podcast T-shirt, or am I going to wear my AEF shirt?
No, wear your AEF shirt.
Definitely.
You gotta represent.
Yeah. No,
You
we
can,
appreciate
you can
the
wipe
support.
your brow with your Park Flower Podcast T-shirt.
No, I wear that a lot,
Yeah.
and just because people say the word podcast, you're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's a great podcast on all aircraft, and it's all kinds of fun. Okay, I'll look that up. Yeah, so.
That's cool.
Well,
Thanks.
good. That. Well, at least you're wearing it, Nick, and I know he listens to us, so he's going to get punched in the face here. But he had the shirts behind him, so on the YouTube channel, we had some switching on the video.
Yeah,
it moved him to the bottom right hand corner for us, or bottom left hand corner, and so it moved him off the screen. All you can see was the shirts, so you can only see like this much. Anyway, I was like, oh, what happened there? But I don't know. He was a great host. We love Nick. He gives us a call all the time and gives us little jingles. And
don't forget about those bargains, man.
Oh, and the bargains, man. That guy is number
Black
one.
Friday, yeah.
Black Friday stuff. My
yeah.
text message is just burned up with all the stuff because we looked around prior to Black Friday, and we the episode was almost Black Friday because we literally, the three of us, could find nothing. Even Nick only found a few things. But the guys waited till Thanksgiving evening and then just dumped everything. So, I mean, we, obviously we recorded this ahead of time, but
right.
It really didn't help us because all of those deals literally came out. I mean, I must have got, 35 messages with him just going, oh my gosh, look at this one, listen to this one, and I'm like, I can't even keep up. So our podcast was a little on the, there's really not a whole lot out there to him sending out a bunch of stuff. So luckily he put a lot of it on our Facebook page, the Park Flyer Podcast Listeners Group on Facebook. Go join that if you haven't already.
I already have. Oh, yeah.
And then, he sent out a bunch of that stuff. So people were at least able to, take advantage. So I was going to say something. Now I totally had an old man moment and forgot. Oh, crazy.
Who are you guys? Where
are we?
Where am I? Here. Hope we're having pudding.
Where's my roll fair spoon?
It's Jello time. So I mentioned earlier that I was, at the field with the turbine guys, and I know this isn't really Park Fly related, but we had a spectacular accident. I mean, it looked something off a movie. The fireball, the big black smoke, the mushroom cloud.
Oh wow!
It was amazing. And then I found
did you
myself,
set the desert back on fire again?
What's that?
I said, did you set the desert back ablaze again?
Why, yes, we
Nice.
did.
Nice.
Well, luckily for us, I came in to say hello to the guys and watch, one of the Barry, I had to watch, I was watching him fly. And another guy, boom, took a big L-39, put it right in. Big mushroom ball. Luckily, we had, I don't know if you know Kenny Rhodes. You know Kenny?
Oh, yeah, I know Kenny.
Yeah, okay, so Kenny's a retired firefighter. Kenny goes, we got to get some shovels, and I go, I got a four-wheel drive truck. So we all jumped in my truck and went out there. I was only supposed to be there for like 5 or 10 minutes. I wound up being there for an hour fighting a fire.
Oh, wow.
So there were four of us, and with a water fire extinguisher and a CO2 fire extinguisher, we got most of it out. Then we dug up the whole area, and Kenny was on the, phone with the fire department telling them, okay, we got it out. We've done everything. And I told everybody, I was like, he goes, all right, I'm happy. Let's go. And I looked over and you could see the smoke coming up off. I said, no, I don't want Kenny to go to fire jail. So let's stick around another 5 minutes. I went put the bush out and everything. I said, I don't want to drive back over here. And if I leave, all you guys are in these little cars. You're not be able to get across this big wash. But yeah, we lucked out. And amazingly enough, they actually called the fire department when they saw the fireball. So that was pretty amazing.
Wow. What plane was it?
The same one I have, Skymaster L3.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but there was not one thing salvageable.
Yeah, it's really too bad you don't have any video too, Mike, because you could have sold that as B-roll for some movies.
That's true. I could have. The only thing that the turbine itself was there, but it was so mangled. There was nothing you could save on the turbine.
Wow.
And there was nothing left of the airplane except floating around just above the ground were these sheets of fiberglass.
Wow.
And all the epoxy, all that stuff, I mean, they were pitch black, they were burnt, but all still intact. But it has it burned all of the epoxy out of the mold, and it had just basically separated it. So it looked like a book of these little fiberglass
Sheets.
Little remnant sheets. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I was picking those up, and when I got to one side, there was a pilot head. It was just the head. He had like a little char on the side of it, like a little. It wasn't melted. It looked like he's been in a fire.
B-roll for a
so
Jason movie.
Exactly. I picked it up, walked over to the pilot that had the accident, and I said, "Hey," I said, "you need to talk to this guy because he's seen the whole thing."
What
happened was,
yeah.
I was flying at an angle and then I hit the ground.
Well, he took the pilot head. He looked at me. He goes, "Yeah, I can tell he saw everything. He looks a little on the scared side." It gotten warm, but anyway, he laughed. I mean, he felt bad, and we felt bad because it's a very expensive airplane from Skymaster.
Was it a pilot error or mechanical error or?
Yes.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I don't.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. All of them.
Yes.
Yeah. It just happened.
All of them. All of them. So unfortunately.
Well, on a happy note, with a large aircraft related to both turbine and AEF, I think last year you guys might have heard we had bought the molds to the Saab Drakens that were used in Firebirds.
Yes.
Oh.
So we had gotten a couple of them pulled just before AEF. Actually, we brought one out to show you everybody. As of 3 weeks ago, Roger Hecht, who actually did all the molds and got all them ready, he got the first one done and test flew it over in California on a Jetfan 110 and flew amazing. His son Brent flew it and it flew amazing. I mean, totally scale. He put like the little tail wheel that retracts. I don't know if you've ever seen a Saab Draken. They have a little tail wheel that pops out the bottom, the back. But it flew amazing. We have 3 more that aren't too far behind. 2 of them are going to be turbine. One's going to be Byron EDF. So we should have at least 1, maybe 2 of them flying at AEF this year. So,
and which one has your name on it?
Well, no, I have one too, but mine's basically still just in the garage in the same place it's been since the day I brought it home. Well, it's not even in a box, and that was when we brought him home.
Yeah.
They kind of got twisted a little bit, like my elevator or my rudder's like that.
Yeah.
And so we're I think once we get the formers in and everything, it'll straighten out. But
there's your problem.
Yeah, there's your problem.
That's crazy. That's fun.
But so we're excited to get those going, and eventually we have about, as of right now, 8 to 10 people that want to buy one.
Okay.
Beyond the original batch of, like, we got 2 batches that have been made already, but we're gonna try and kit it. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. Well, as we get close to our time, I just want to touch. I know this is going to be late coming out because this comes out on the 10th, and we're hoping to get all this information in by the 4th. And it's just prior to the 4th now, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, our Secret Santa project. But I'm sure that the individuals involved would still take donations at this point. If you wanted to donate, we're trying to get it by the 4th so we can get it out to whoever. But this year's been so different on many fronts. The Crash Cast Secret Santa, or the Crash Cast, when they were around, had a Secret Santa project, and it's really gone well. I participated last year; it was really, really kind of good. It'll be kind of crazy this year, but the TCCSS will be up. But instead of signing up to send and receive RC products, we're going to do something a little different. So our contact over there is Mrs. Dirt Nappers. That's what her little screen name is. And she said, instead of signing up to receive this RC goodness, it's proposed that we work together as a community to give a few folks a special RC Christmas. In conjunction with the Park Flyer podcast, she is asking for nominations and donations. You can send details about someone you know who deserves an improvement to their RC gear. There are some special RC gifts in store for the right pilot. We would like to know their RC story and what you believe would improve their stand in the hobby. So you can send your details about the pilot you want to nominate to 2016tccs@gmail.com. We should have had this before, December 4th, and we're hoping to have all that stuff. But because this one's coming out on the 10th, I'm just going to let you know that if you'd like to donate to this cause, please send your donation via PayPal to same address, 2016tccss@gmail.com. No later than December 4th, but like I said, we are hoping that if we get more money, we can help more people. A select group will decide which pilots will be visited by Santa, and part of that will be determined by the amount of donations given by Secret Santas. So if we can get a lot, then we'll try to get multiple people, but if we don't get as much participation, then we'll just kind of pick those. Please help us provide an RC-filled Christmas to some needing pilot. The select group, in my mind, would be the TCCSS and the Park Flyer Podcast. So we're looking forward to it. And we have actually come up to help out in a big way. So not to give anything away, but I think we'll have the big Secret Santa gift that's sent out. So we're hoping that, I know it's several days later, but if there's a way that you can donate, or if your club, we're recording this early, but if you have somebody in your club, make sure you send it to us and say, hey, this guy is, really struggling. He lost his job, or, he just can't move to the next level, or his kid can't do it, or whoever it is. And just give us a call on 830-444-4943, or send that information to the 2016 tccss@gmail.com, or parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com too. But that's our, Christmas. I know we'll have a Christmas episode. We'll talk hopefully a little bit about it. But I know we're kind of in between it. Our last episode, we talked a little bit. We just kind of want to touch on it again just after the fact to make sure that we still get support. So I think it'll be a good, addition to, what they've done in the past has been very, lucrative for people sending out. It's been a very big deal. I was surprised how many people were involved, and they were limited to $50. But you'd be surprised how much you can get for $50. And there are vendors out there that will, if you say it's part of this, little exercise, they'll give you a discount. So cool. Some of them will even ship it directly to there, so it doesn't ever come to your place. It just goes direct. But I got a really nice foam extra large from WP Flyers, I think, Western Michigan Park Flyers. Anyway, it's really amazing. So anyway, that's kind of our pitch for the Secret Santa deal. And I know it's late, but help us out. So then maybe we can talk about it at the Arizona Electric Festival.
How good it was.
How good it was. That's it. So, yep. But it helps us. It helps the Crashcast guys. That was a podcast that was in existence several years ago. And their main guy, Mike, he passed away from cancer. So they try to do this in memory of him. And, they've done a very good job. They had a lot of listeners. It was one of the big, podcasts out there, and a lot of their guys have come over to us, and we appreciate them. If they're listening, we really appreciate their patronage. So, but give us some support and give us some feedback. Other than Nick, he's good. Nick has given us plenty of feedback.
Unless we have to get a restraining order.
Yeah, that's not really true, but he has, amazingly enough, he has some really great ideas. So he definitely is. We enjoy having him as kind of the back, in the background helping us out. So it's kind of cool. But
and I'm on the sidelines begging, can I get on and talk about AEF, please?
Well, actually, you're welcome on anytime.
I mean,
you just let us know, hey, I got something important to say, and you're on, man. We'll make room for you.
Well, maybe I'll do that.
I know it was short notice tonight. I got called out to go to work, but you were very accommodating and said, "Yeah, I'll be there." So we appreciate that. Helps us out.
I mean, you're the wild card, Shannon. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
But I had to give Jay plenty of time to get this all done, because normally I could have done it like Sunday night or Monday night. That would have been better for him because he works well under pressure, evidently. You know what to do at 7:00, right? He's like, yeah, I'm on it. What are you doing now? Click, 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 playing games with Mike. You do know what to do in like 3 hours, right? Yeah, I got it. But I have to say, he's amazing. I love Jay. He gets it done. So, and always comes up with some funny stuff. So don't be surprised if there's some funny stuff on the.
If it's not really YouTube. You in the video, don't be surprised.
Yes, probably so. There's a little stick man with this little googly face.
No, it'll be the Mandalorian. Sure. I mean, come on.
That's right. There you go.
Luke, I am your father. It's pretty funny. Well, it is always a pleasure to have you on board.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be hanging out with you guys. Your family to me. So
thanks.
Yeah, I got to get over that side of town.
Well, we should have Thanksgiving together.
We should have.
We should have.
Skype together and just
maybe you can plan that.
I was telling Jay. I was telling Jay or Mike, I forget when we were kind of bouncing around. I just redid my back patio area, and so maybe if around AEF time, I might have you guys over for a little story.
I was thinking you were going to say perfect. Mike can bring his tent and sleep in the back.
Hey, that too. There you go.
I need some
that wrong. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I just jumped to conclusions.
It's covered.
This retaining wall back there.
Yeah. I got this doghouse especially for you. It was a doghouse. It's good, though. It's got.
I've been in doghouses before. It's not new. Yeah.
You can sleep on the catio. So
yeah, can you imagine everybody's getting ready to go home for the night, and Shannon gets in his car, and there's Mike with his blanket and his sleeping bag.
Mike, come on, here we go.
Car.
AEF.
Funny. Oh my gosh! All right, the Arizona Electric Festival is from the 12th through the 14th at the
Arizona Model Aviators Superstition RC Park.
There you go. One last question: how do we sign up?
You can go to www.azmodelaviators.com and click on the Arizona Electric Festival link, and it'll take you right to the registration. We're going to do like we did last year. It's $40 for the whole weekend, or $20 per day. That's payable only at the event. But if you do the $20 a day, you don't get the
pizza
raffle, or pizza. Yeah. So.
Okay. And make sure you bring your AMA card because you'll need that.
Yes, AMA card. Very important to have that. And we encourage everyone to have their FAA ID on all of their aircraft, just like they're supposed to have.
And
we encourage that.
Right? That's the new thing, though. Shot records when we show up.
Well,
rabies.
Not quite yet, but you will need a mask. So if you by chance forget one, we'll probably be able to provide one to you. But
there's those T-shirts come in handy again.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. I got a mask on. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can make like a special COVID Park Flyer T-shirt that has a built-in mask.
Oh no, that's pretty.
There you go, like a gator. Yeah.
Sort of hang on your neck and sort of flip it up and tie it behind your head.
So like face shield where it says Park Flyer Podcast.
COVID ready. Right where your eyes are. That's a good idea.
Shield, but with you get like a little heads up display on it, like if you're shooting.
Yeah. All right, now we're working.
All right, we're on it.
Yeah, well, when I was down at Jay's, I can't remember if I said this on the podcast or not. I probably did, but we had to go with a bank so he could get some cash, and we jumped out. And I was looking for deposit slips for his wife, and he's going to go get some cash. So he walked in the door, and the lady says, "Hey, you got to have a mask on." And he's like, And she goes, "Well, just use your shirt." So he literally reached over like this and pulled his shirt all the way over his face from the back all the way to the forward. He didn't pull it up like this. He just pulled it right over. And the lady just kind of stood there. And then she said, like, "You front or something." And Jay's like, "Well, you got to be more specific." But he literally walked up to her with his shirt over his whole face, his whole head. Anyway, it was pretty funny. I think they tried to, arrest him because they thought he was robbing the bank or something. But they gave him.
No, they were cracking up, man. That lady didn't know what to do. She was just laughing. I just stood up there with my shirt over my. Well, I did it from the front to the back, so my belly was sticking out.
Oh, that's right.
And I walked up there. I go, "Hey!" So what I need is I need a couple 10s. I need 20.
Can we do a reenactment when you're here in town?
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
so we'll just. And when you got to fly like that too. So.
Yeah. She won't even really recognize him till he does that. And she says, "Oh yeah, Jay, how you doing?"
I recognize your belly button.
I got to do a little shake. See, recognize it now. There you go.
Well, on that note, thank you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks again for having me, guys.
We appreciate it. It's always fun to have you on, and we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
We hope you have a wonderful, merry holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever.
You too as well.
Kwanzaa. Yeah. What's that long one?
Happy Chris Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Chris Kwanzaa.
Festivus for the rest of us.
And Festivus.
That's for me.
That's for him.
But these guys.
And now for the feats of strength.
Yeah, exactly. 5 sheets of foam.
I got a problem with you people.
5 sheets of Depron. Come on, Mike, you can do it.
I know.
Feats of strength. I love it.
It's this new Despron. Damn it.
Oh my gosh. Well, we hope you have a wonderful Christmas. We actually do have a Christmas episode coming out, so we'll talk to you then in 2 weeks. But from Arizona, I'm Michael.
And from the hills of Texas, I'm Jay.
And I'm AK Mike in Texas.
That was lame. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly. Yep. That's what I did it for. Shenanigans. Yeah, that's right. That's a good idea.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.